Yo guys, what is going on? It is Invin here, and today what I'm bringing to you guys is a video on some of the top mistakes to avoid right now in New World. Now this is going to focus on things you should strictly just avoid if you want to play it smart, and some other things that you maybe don't want to jump the gun on just yet, or if you do want to jump the gun on it, at least do it kind of in a way that makes a bit more sense to your playstyle, because I've seen some comments asking some of these questions, and I've also seen some of the community here on my server jumping into a few of these interesting patterns following the recent update patch notes to the PTR. So I wanted to jump in, bring you guys the latest info, and hopefully save some of you either some money or losing out on some items if you were planning to do it. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is selling legendary materials to make a profit right now. If we go onto the trading post, at least on my server right now, and we type in something along the lines of smolderhide, you guys will be able to see that this is selling for 13.71. Now for my server, this is down by around about 5-6 gold in just about a day or two. So it is going down pretty rapidly. As you can see, there's not a huge amount of availability. You can see it kind of just above and below the camera. But there is still a good amount, and you know, hundreds down here at 13 odd. And these were up to about 15 just 2 days ago, and then before that 16, 17. Now the reason for that is I'll put a screenshot on screen for you guys now of the changes, but we've had legendary refinement material drop chances in aptitude boxes have been reduced. Legendary refinement material drop chances in gathering have been increased, and skinning legendary refinement materials have been reduced. So smolderhide, as well as of course over here if we look at our scarhide, these are going to be reduced with the upcoming May update. And of course, generally, you're going to get less from your trade skill aptitude boxes and more from gathering. Now, this is going to have a pretty knock-on effect, but particularly people are trying to sell the scarhide and smolderhide for profit because they've kind of read into it and thought, oh, well, there's going to be less opportunity to get the tier 5 ones, so they're going to go up in price, etc. And yeah, honestly, just hold on to your skinning refinement materials, your scarhide and your smolderhide until after this update, because they are going to be getting generally reduced across the board, as well as the other ones like your scale cloth and stuff as well is going to be from the TSA caches, the trade skill aptitude caches, but from gathering you're going to get increases. So that's going to mean things like your cinnabar are going to be a little bit harder to get. If we have a look at the price of this here on my server, again, prices will vary, but it's starting at 21, which is quite a bit up at the moment. Things like that may be a little bit more difficult to get for some players, as not everyone wants to or even enjoys gathering, so they just won't bother. Other people don't have the time to gather, therefore when they are doing it, they're relying on getting the trade skill aptitude caches, which can be a little bit quicker because you don't always have to go for the end game materials. You can just go for whatever you see, get your level up, and then hopefully get some from that box. Now that will still be occurring, so they're not going to be completely eradicated from that. However, it is going to be less common, so you're likely to see the price on things like cinnabar and such go up, which means if you are someone that can gather, you're probably going to do well. But like I said there, the skinning refinement materials are going generally to be reduced, so we're going to get less of them as drops in general, which is going to include from the gathering, even though the gathering's getting increased over the trade skill aptitude. If that makes sense, we're still going to be seeing less. So if you are someone that can gather, or honestly someone who even doesn't like gathering but is willing to put in a little bit of effort before this update comes out, do go and grind some end game mobs that drop hides so that you can potentially get these drops of the smolderhide and scarhide. Get a good stockpile of each if you've got the time and the willingness to do so, because you're going to save yourself a fair bit of money once this update comes out. And again, I would hold on to most of your refining materials just now, because again, people after this update, mainly because they don't have enough time for it, or some people just don't enjoy it, won't be going out and gathering, so maybe wanting to buy, even if it is just 2 and 3 here and there, the amount of players buying it is going to be up as well, so you could make a lot more money, so don't lose out on that right now. Now another thing to mention and notice about this upcoming update is these things right here: your phoenix weave, your asmodium, your glittering ebony, and of course your runic leather, your daily craft refined items. These are actually getting upgraded to a legendary item, and things like your cinnabar, your tolvium that are currently legendary are going to be downgraded to epic. Now there's no change to them specifically off the back of that other than what I mentioned in the previous tip here, but it does mean that obviously you're going to see these in gold and the others in purple, so don't go ahead and lose these materials once this update does drop. Now another really important upcoming change with the May update is mana pots. Mana pots, again, farming for these is going to be pretty good, and of course you do get them as drops from pretty much everything at the moment, hence hence why you can see here the price. These are at 290, let's say, roughly average. And if we have a look at the health pots, at least obviously just taking it on my server, these are over double the price of the mana pots. The regen pots, again, are going to be a similar, if not even more. So again, we can click the infused here. And yeah, these are up to 10. So these are over triple the price of the mana pots. And that is because the drop frequency is a lot lower for these two. And as such, we are going to be seeing a big change to this with the May update. Now, if you are someone that uses mana pots a lot, either get them from farming and just try and save a load up. Don't throw them out. Don't sell them, whatever. Just keep them in your inventory. Store them in one of the banks somewhere. Now that the storage system is a lot easier to navigate, you could select a settlement where you're going to stockpile these because the drop rates are getting reduced. Or if you're not someone who's got enough time to play between now and the update, or you just want to get a load of these ready, you're someone that only plays mage, only plays healer, and you know that you're going to be using a lot of mana, and therefore you're going to need these mana potions, then it may be worth buying a couple of hundred of them while they are super cheap, which is seemingly the case across the board, hence why we're getting this change. But what you guys will notice is that tier 4 mana potion drop chance is getting reduced by 25%. So again, that's not these infused ones, that is the powerful mana potions, which right here again are the cheapest out of all of the powerful potions. And then the tier 5 mana potions drop chance is getting reduced by 50%, so we're going to see 50% less of these, which we should see roughly therefore, you know, at least a 25% increase in price. Just off the bat, there's going to be still quite a surplus of these, but then we should see a price reflecting, almost doubling, which will bring them up in line much more with the health potions, which of course can be quite costly if you're not able to make them, or you know, you're not someone that runs several dungeons or outpost rushes and that sort of stuff every single day to stockpile your cash. These can be quite a hit to the bank, so do make sure you're getting some of them now. Try to save up the drops, try to buy any really super cheap ones that you see, and don't go ahead and start dropping any if you are going to be using them, because after this update they are going to be much rarer. Now the next thing here is going to be buying current BIS items or best in slot items if you're only going to be doing PvP arenas. Now, as you can see, some of these items break the bank. Keen Enchanted, Keenly Empowered on this Warhammer, 130k. Another one here for 120 with Keen, Refreshing Move and Enchanted. Now, whether you guys think they are worth it is another story. You know, obviously myself, I'm not 100% sure whether I would pay that much money for some of these, but there is some items that are truly sought after in the game, and as such are selling for a ridiculously high amount of cash. Now, the reason I say don't necessarily focus on this is because of the brand new PvP perks coming into New World with this update. Now, if you do want to know all about those, I have made a video covering them, so you can go ahead and watch that one if you want to see all of the in-depth breakdown of what they are and what they're going to be doing. But essentially, we're going to have perks that work only in PvP that are not currently in the game. Now, it's worth noting as well at this point that these perks are only going to be available as of right now, whether this changes over the course of the development towards this update being released or later in the life cycle of New World. But at the time of making this video, you can only get them from the armor rewards from the PvP track. So one of the armor pieces will either come with it on or will be within the range of 590 to 600, which will allow you to get it to 600 gear score and then unlock that third perk there, which would be one of the new PvP perks. Now again, not all of them have it on, it is just some, hence why some of the rewards are going to be more expensive and more rare. So what I would say is maybe save some of your Umbral if you are wanting to upgrade some of those, but also don't go spending all of your money on a BIS piece if you have got your eye on one of these brand new pieces coming out, because although BIS is super worth it and, you know, things that are currently best in slot will still be great for wars, outpost rush and the arenas themselves, however the arenas are really going to benefit from these PvP only perks, as are wars and outpost rush as well. But you can see that some of them were specifically made with that 3v3 environment in mind, so don't miss out on that. And it is worth checking first, is there a perk that I could probably get on a piece of armor from the new PvP perks before I spend 300,000 400,000 gold on a chest plate. So just more of a heads up with this one, but do just check that before you go ahead and spend all of your hard-earned gold on one piece of gear that you might actually then swap out later down the line. Now, the next thing here is people are stocking up on consumables for the arena. They're bringing things like the roasted rabbit with seasoned vegetables food, which you can see me hovering over here, or the carrot cake, or indeed just the potions and things like that, honing stones, gemstone dust, etc. Now, This is a bad idea because firstly, they have now changed it so that there is arena-specific consumables, which are essentially infinite. They just respect the same cooldowns as a regular health pot, for example, but it will just be a blue one that says arena health pot instead, and you can just use it every 25-30 seconds or whatever it is that you can use a regular one for. So not only do you not really need to do these, you actually aren't able to use any consumables that are not the arena-specific blue ones they give you upon entering an arena match. Now, they do give you health pots, they give you regen pots, they give you mana pots, then they also give you each of the stat boosting foods, so the variants for strength, int, constitution, focus, and dexterity, and then they also give you a tier 5 honing stone, so a powerful honing stone. They do not give you gemstone dust, they do not give you oak flesh balm, and they don't give you regular food. That being said, you cannot use your own stuff like I just said there, so you're not going to need to stockpile them, but you are not able to use gemstone, oak flesh, or regular food inside the arenas. It's only what they give you, so don't spend all your money stockpiling for that. It's not worth it. You're not going to be able to use it for a start. However, for the other content, the brand new mutations, wars, all that good stuff, then of course, as regular business with that, it is super worth getting your hands on some of it if it comes up cheaply. Now, the final thing that I wanted to cover here is some people are continually dumping their craft mods on the trading post right now. For example, the reinforced orichalcum great axe charm. This bad boy was at about 8.5k just about 3 or 4 days ago. It has dropped dramatically since they released their list of perk changes, and that is essentially because this is getting a slight nerf. Now, that being said, Insatiable Gravwell will still probably be, and will definitely be, best in slot for anyone using the Gravity Well and of course the great axe in general. But people are starting to sell these super cheap, so there's two ways of looking at this. You can take advantage and potentially grab some of these if you have been waiting for them to either come down in price or you want to re-roll some gear, but at the same time don't get drawn into this, and especially some of the stuff that's been buffed, if you can get it while it is super cheap, because people are kind of dumping some of these good stuff, especially things that have been buffed with the recent patch as well. When the May one drops, we're going to see some of those go up in value, again covered in my updated perks video from a couple of days ago. Then you might be able to grab some of these for just a few gold before they get a soar in price after this update. So again, have a look at those, see if you want to buy any, see if you want to get your hands on any of the cheap, for example, ones that are going down a little bit. And of course, we might see a general decrease in these before the update drops with the PvP perks coming in, as some players may not realise there isn't craft mods available for them yet. So do keep your eyes out, but don't fall into the trap of selling your craft mods far too cheap before this update drops. Mostly, if it's not getting a huge nerf, I would keep it until afterwards, as you are going to probably make more money when more players return to the game. But that is pretty much going to be it for today's video, guys. I do hope you found this video useful, and hopefully it saved you guys a bit of money or a bit of time and effort in certain things that have been going around the community that you just need to be careful of, or at least not jump the gun on with some things here. Some of these mistakes are more, don't jump the gun on it, wait to see what happens, and then, you know, proceed as normal. But hopefully you have found this video useful. If you have, please do be sure to go down below and drop a like and a subscribe to the channel, as both of those things massively help to support me and my content here on YouTube. Other than that, as always, if you do want to support me directly as a content creator, you can join the channel membership program below today's video or on the channel page, and you can always leave a super thanks in the comments section if you are so inclined to do so. But other than that, that is going to be it for today, so thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and I will catch you again very shortly with a brand new upload. Take care, guys, and peace.